the installation for the first time your computer will restart, you will log in. Like I said, I changed the NIC card to host only or local only. Next thing I need to do, you need to go and log in. You need to press Alt Control Delete. However, you can't press Control and Delete here because you will send that to your physical machines. What you want to do, you want to go to your virtual machine and you want to select Send Control and Alt Delete. Now log in by typing the password that you assigned during the installation. And then we need to go and do what we call a post installation. So other things that we need to do. You notice that every time you turn off your server need to know why did you shut it down and why did you restart it. Servers are not designed to be shut down and they log everything, so they need to know why did you shut them down. As soon as you log in, a couple things we need to do. We need to change the time zone, something that I already did. I'm just going to show you from where you go ahead and do that. Change your time zone. You come right here and make sure you use UTC, Eastern Time, US and Canada. And once that is done, you hit OK. And you, right? All right. The next thing we need to do, which I already did, but I'll take you there anyway to show you that I already did that. You need to change the computer name according to the information that I gave you, or the table that was in your, recall it, in the lab guideline or the lab setup. I went ahead and changed the computer name to ServerA DC. That I did. I also went ahead and changed the IP address as required. Next things, I want to add and enroll. I want to manage, add roles and services, or you need to go to add a role services. You hit next, next, a couple times, you hit next again, and then you need to select Active Directory, domain and services. Once you select Active Directory, Active Directory domain services, you will hit next, 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 and at the end you will see this triangle right here asking you that there's extra steps need to be done, and that you need now to promote this server from what we call a standalone to a domain controller. This process may take time depending on how much RAM you have given to yours, or how slow, how fast is your processors. So we're going to go right here. We're going to go hit promote this machine to a domain controller, and I'll explain what you're looking at. You need to answer a couple of questions. The first question is add a domain controller to an existing domain. This is not what we want because we don't have an existing domain. So what you want is add a new forest right here. Right? Add a new forest. Takes a little bit. It's collected a little bit more information, and in a second or two will give me the options. I will pause that if it did not. It should give me the option to add. So I've got to add. And in here, what I'm going to do, we're going to use a datum that let's use a datum.com if you want, a datum.com or datum.local. Once you do that, this is a domain we're going to use. You hit next. All right, in a few seconds. All right, now it asks us about what functional domain level we're going to do. We don't have any other what we call other server 2008 to server 2003, so we can keep this functional level as it is. We're not going to do that. By default, the first server you install will become your domain controller, and like I told you before, by default this server will also become your domain controller. Assign a password. By the way, this password can be different than the password that you use to log in, but in my case I will keep it the same. I advise you to, for lab, to keep it the same too, but in productive environment it should be completely different. All right, and we're going to hit next here. All right, and I need to, in a second, you need to, it will give you NetBIOS name in case if you're using any older operating systems such as Windows 98 or Windows NT. You don't have to do nothing here, just keep it as it is and hit next. NetBIOS name, so other old computers can find it on the networks. By default, when you promoted it, the Active Directory is being installed and this tree folder will be added. We'll talk about them later in other chapters, right? We hit next. All right, and it tells you before you go further, double check and make sure that everything is right. This is what's going to happen, and these are the changes. I'm going to go ahead and hit next here, and I'm going to pause it right here because this process is going to take a little time. So I'm going to pause it. Right, I'm going to pause it for now.